Entrepreneurial Edge is brought to you by Business Banking from FNB, because small ideas can lead to big business. FNB, how can we help you?
Now, Deon, so you started off from very humble beginnings, this technology company, and then you decided to diversify into office furniture. Where did you see the gap?
Just I'm open-minded, and I saw the need that we couldn't sell one product in the company and survive off it. What I've done is we've opened our doors to be a total one-shop solution for companies. And if we came in and we sold you a computer, we would sell you a printer, we would sell you the cartridge, we would sell you paper. And if along the way we saw there's a need that clients need furniture in their offices, we got into the office furniture industry. 4 or 5 years down the line, office furniture now makes up, I think, 50% of my turnover. So it's been a good avenue for us to market furniture.
And how competitive is this business for office furniture?
Look, there's a lot of business out there for furniture. It's a very competitive business. I think what favors us is that we've not only concentrated on making good relationships with customers, but we've channeled our energy with suppliers as well. So I'm licensed to sell furniture for a good couple of the big manufacturers in South Africa. And I think that's what puts us in front of the pack, Chris.
And in this difficult times, recession, what about costs and those sort of things? How are you battling with that?
I think the most important thing that affected us is the volatile rand against the dollar, which I think a lot of businesses have suffered. Because our company is so diversified, we sell a range of products. So we don't just rely on selling one type of product. When our computer in the IT section is doing bad, I think the furniture covers up. Or if the furniture has taken a slump, on the IT side, we cover up a business.
And how difficult is it to find the right people? I mean, you can't be everywhere. You're a hands-on person, you say, but you can't be everywhere.
Yeah, and it's difficult. You know, when you're growing and you're small, you can't afford to pay good salaries. I mean, it's a small business that we started off, so it was difficult finding the right people. My staff turnover in the first couple of years was quite high. I think at the moment I have good employees, I have good structures, I have good management people. On my factory side, I have last year in 2010, I took on a partner at Royal Seating. His name is Miteshwe Amber. He's a sublime person. He manages the day-to-day operations. And it's important to have someone in your business that has interest that can manage it for you. And I found that for me to be successful in Esizwe, I needed to focus on Esizwe. I can't channel my energy everywhere and try and have one successful company.
And you're building a new factory at the moment, I understand. You're expanding.
Yes. We had offices in Braamfontein, and at the end of 2009, we were asked to move out because PC Training had bought over the building. And I wanted to own my own premises and to build. So this was a 5-year plan that we put together 3 years ago. And 3 years later, that we are building our own place. It's going to be ready at the end of February. So we're looking forward to good office space, spacious building.
And how did the recession affect you? I mean, it's in your early years of setting up Esizwe. How did it affect you?
Chris, I was fortunate. I wasn't affected by the recession at all. I think because I'm so diversified and we sell so many products, when we took a slump in one area of our business, we covered up on the furniture or we covered up on the IT, like I said. So we were okay. We pulled through. I think the important thing is we managed through the recession year and we came out of it.
And we've talked a lot about your successes, and obviously you're an entrepreneur with an eye on the future, and the main chance always. But on the other side, you must have made some mistakes along the way.
Yeah, I think one major mistake I made was I tried in 2007, I tried to get into a transport business, which some influence from my dad, which I learned from him. And that proved to be challenging for me. Running a business and trying to do a secondary business as well, when it's not in line with what you're doing, it's difficult. So it was a learning curve for me. It failed dramatically, but I think I learned from it to focus on my business and not to put my fingers elsewhere.
And what was the problem with the transport business? Why couldn't you crack in there?
You need to be hands-on. The thing is, you need to manage your transport, just like how I manage Esizwe. You need to be hands-on. I had drivers that's taking my truck, and you needed to manage a driver going to Durban, going to Cape Town. If a truck broken down in Durban, you would have to be hands-on to get the problem solved. And I think Esizwe took up a lot of my time, so it wasn't possible for me to manage the transport business hands-on.
What did you learn from this mistake?
I think if you focus on what you're doing, I generate the same amount of income that I would have made between two companies. If I channeled my energy into one business and gave it all my focus, I'd get the same results.
But now you're looking wide, far and wide. What other businesses you think you'll go into in the future?
Look, I'd like to at the moment, my short-term plan is to grow the factory, Royal Seating. We manufacture chairs and couches. I've got plans for Esizwe by the end of 2013. We want to have a national footprint. So I'm going to focus on what I'm doing now. I want offices in Durban and in Cape Town.
Looking forward, I mean, the next 10 years, where do you want to be by 2022?
I want to have a firm footprint in the country, throughout South Africa.
And the rest of the continent?
I think once I've conquered South Africa, once I know I'm in every major city, I've got branches. Look, there's no doors closing for me. I'm open-minded. So if it takes me through the continent, we'll go there.
Now, just going back to the beginning of the interview here, we talked about the reason why you were fired. You wanted to watch the 1998 World Cup. You say you're still a football fanatic.
Yes.
Do you think there's anything, you were a player yourself as well, there's anything from football that we can learn from in terms of business?
Yeah, I think, look, going back to the 1998 World Cup, I definitely don't regret the decision I make. It's what brought me to where I am today. Had I stuck around and not watched the World Cup, I would have probably still been a driver or a driver assistant for my dad's company. So in somewhat, that soccer career or fanatic helped me in my business.
And what position were you playing?
I was a midfielder.
Midfielder.
Yeah.
And do you think there's anything from the game you think that people can use in being an entrepreneur?
I think as a midfielder, you always have your eye, where's your next move going to be? And I think the same with business. You're always looking ahead, where's your next move going to be in business?
So you think you've learned a lot there on the football pitch as well?
Yes.
But, the rest of the continent, what's going to be your strategy there? Because everybody's saying it's the emerging market, it's the place to be if you want to make money in the future. Returns 25% plus. Where are you going to be looking in the future?
I think on my manufacturing side, chairs and couches, there'll be opportunities for me to export furniture into our neighboring countries. So probably in the next 10 to 15 years, once I expand the factory, I'll look at that, Chris.
And what kind of countries do you think would be a good bet right now?
Zimbabwe is an emerging country at the moment. I would think there is opportunities there. Neighboring countries, Botswana, Mozambique, I would start off locally.
And have you put any feelers out there yet?
I have not as yet. It's a plan in the future. So once I'm established with the factory, I think I'll look into that avenue.
I mean, one of the questions that we always ask on this program, and I think it's a valid one, is do you think that great entrepreneurs are born or they're made?
I think they are made. I think my entrepreneurial skills came from Chris when I was a young boy. I think my dad, he was a manager at AUCI, but he was never happy with just, I think, his monthly check. I've often been with him doing deals on the side, buying and selling cars. I learned a lot from him. I think negotiating, that's where I picked it up from. So I think in my early days, watching him do deals is what got me into this.
And your father, apart from, as we said, it's now a family joke, your sacking in 1998. Does he have any input into your business today?
Yes. Look, he's my mentor. If I need advice, I go to him. And yes, from time to time, we'll sit and we'll discuss objectives and strategies, and he'll give me assistance.
And what does he say to you when times are tough?
It's a good thing he fired me. He made me.
And also, you know, in terms of being an entrepreneur, I mean, is there one thing that you've done maybe that you would say to the people out there watching, don't do that? I mean, what sort of advice could you pass? I
think you should be focused. I mean, if you want to do something, believe in yourself. Because if you don't, I mean, nobody else is going to believe in you. And failure is not an option. If you set out to do something, Chris, you must go for it. I mean, take the chances, make calculated decisions, do the right decision, and you'll succeed.
And what do you think that people should be doing? I mean, a lot of people say that the answer for employment in Africa is entrepreneurs. I mean, people on the other side say, well, entrepreneurs don't want to hire people to save money, to increase profits. But what do you think? Do you think entrepreneurs are the answer for this continent?
Yes, and I think they're responsible for creating employment and adding value to our economy. I mean, that's my belief. I'd like to think that my legacy will be to touch people and to create employment. That's how I would want to be remembered. How
do you think the world could make it easier for entrepreneurs, you think? I mean, with your experience?
I think your finance institutions were more keen on helping finance. A lot of entrepreneurs, the biggest challenge is finance. So I think if we were given more opportunities to get finance, if we had more access to finance facilities, it would make life easier for us.
And in terms of entrepreneurs, we all know them, the big names around the world. Who would you say is your hero, your role model, somebody you'd like to follow in the footsteps?
Harry Oppenheimer.
Harry Oppenheimer.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you did work at Anglo.
I worked at Anglo, yes. I saw what he's accomplishing these days, and I think Harry Oppenheimer is my role model.
And what did Harry Oppenheimer do that really caught your eye?
The mining industry, I mean, he took the mining industry and he turned it around. The diamonds and the gold industry, how he's diversified the mining industry was what I liked about him.
And looking ahead to the future, I mean, how would you like the world to remember Deon Pillay as an entrepreneur?
I would like to be remembered for job creation. I mean, as an entrepreneur, I like to think that I'm creating opportunities. I'm adding to our economy. People must remember me for the person that I am, creating employment and contributing to South African economy.
Well, we on the Entrepreneurial Edge, we wish you all the best of luck. That's Deon Pillay, the Managing Director of Esizwe Technology.